Welcome back to Crypto Mates AI. Jerry here with an update for you. Do me a favor, friends. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. Now let's get right into this. This video right here goes over how the current monetary system pretty much screws over the everyday person and the central banks like the Bank of England, the Federal Reserve, BIS, the IMF, SBI, DBS, all these major banks. It shows exactly how they control the world monetary order. And blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies frees us from this slavery and will ultimately end the era of the central banking control. No more middlemen, no more asking permission to use your own money.
Imagine walking into a casino where the house doesn't just have an edge. They control every single chip, every bet, and every rule. That's not gambling, that's slavery. And that's exactly how our money system works today. Welcome to the greatest rigged game in human history, central banking. Here's how they've trapped us all in their casino and why they'll do anything to keep us from walking away. Picture this. You want to buy something, sell something, save something, or trade something. But there's a man standing in the middle of every single transaction you'll ever make. This middleman says you can't trade directly with each other. Everything must go through me first. He controls the chips, your money. He sets the rules, interest rates, and regulations. He decides who gets to play banking licenses and commissions. And here's the kicker. He charges you fees for the privilege of using his rigged system. This is the man-in-the-middle architecture of central banking. Every dollar you earn, spend, save, or invest must pass through their control system. They monitor it, tax it, inflate it away, and charge you for the service. But what if people tried to use something else? What if they wanted to trade gold, silver, or barter directly? The middleman can't allow that. They've systematically eliminated alternatives through legal restrictions, taxation, and social conditioning. They've convinced everyone that their paper promises are the only real money. Why? Because the moment people have a choice, the game is over. The moment people can trade freely without the middleman taking his cut, the greatest wealth extraction scheme in history collapses. Free currency isn't about the technology. It's about removing the middleman. It's about people being able to trade value directly, honestly, without someone in the middle controlling, monitoring, and profiting from every exchange. The difference between slave money and free currency isn't complicated. One system requires your permission to use your own wealth. The other system requires no one's permission but your own. The house always wins. Until people stop playing their game and start playing by honest rules instead.
That right there is exactly why the SEC sued Ripple and went after them so hard for the banking industry, because they are losing control. A sovereign-issued XRP-bridged XRPL-enabled monetary order dissolves deception architecture of debt-based domination and replaces it with a transparent, mathematically governed conveying of trust. It transforms economies and re-sanctifies value, anchoring humanity's energy, creativity, and productivity. The DTCC now shows 11 XRP ETF tickers in active pre-launch position, and I think this is going to be a November to remember, my friends. JPMorgan estimates up to $8 billion of inflows into XRP ETFs in the first year, with only 3 to 5 billion XRP available on exchanges. This could trigger a supply shock, pushing prices far beyond current levels. Depending on how quickly capital enters, XRP could realistically reach $20 to $100 plus as limited supply meets strong institutional demand. Minimum 2 digits this year. Now on to finance news. The future of finance is tokenized. This will become bigger and bigger in the coming years, starting with stocks, the asset class with the most potential. Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev on how tokenization will reshape finance.
If you think about, what's a part of your portfolio, if you're a high net worth individual, there's a lot of these assets that actually retail can't access currently. And I think that tokenization is a way to enable that at scale and sort of like reduce some of the downsides that would typically be associated with holding those assets, like lack of liquidity, being locked into positions, not being able to like chunk the assets out and invest in portions of them. So that's why we're continuing to push on it, both in the US and outside. And you should expect this to become bigger and bigger in the coming years. Of course, starting with stocks, which is the asset class that we think has the most potential and we're also closest to. If you think
this is the exact reason why I don't even bother with stocks. Why buy the stock when you can buy the asset that's going to tokenize that stock on their blockchain? And the fun begins in the next 48 to 72 hours. Seed capital alone equals 100 to 400 million. Buying in the next 48 to 72 hours. Confirmed. 11 XRP ETF products now in pre-launch. DTCC active 8A filed in kind of creation approved. Realistic seed product 10 to 45 million, higher than the original 5 to 25 million rumor. Total force buying before trading starts 110 million to 495 million. At the current level, 240 current price, 45 to 200 million XRP could be vacuumed up this week alone. And last up, Eric Passini, CEO of Hashgraph, and Jonathan Doughton of Equity Lab are working with Intel and Nvidia to bring a layer of trust to the AI industry. It's ready for enterprise. And this is one of the main reasons why I've been so bullish with HBAR as well, because they have the likes of Nvidia, Intel, IBM, Google, LG. They're everywhere. They got some big players on their governing council.
And Intel and Nvidia got together and released that solution in 2023. You guys were early in seeing the promise of that, and we created this new root of trust in the processor. And then we released it. It took a while to actually get the prototypes going, to convince Intel and Nvidia what they had on their hands, which is the superpower. And then we released the white paper in December of last year. And since then, it's been like a rocket, because the demand for this is insatiable, because people know that they actually need this type of proof. And now we have a way to give you a sense how much faster it is. We recently were working on prototypes on Blackwell, and it's 400,000 times faster to do this type of cryptographic proof with the solution that we've created, which really means it's ready for enterprise. And so that's where we got excited to have that breakthrough, and now to be able to extend that into mission critical workflows across the life sciences, public sector, and with finance as well.
Actually, so it's way more than a white paper now. You actually have a demo that you wanted to show us. So I think we can play the video in the back. I don't know if they can hear me, and play the video, and you can comment on the video.
Okay, so I'll give a little narration here.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's real.
So this is a deployment that we did actually with Accenture, and the idea was we deployed 11 AI agents, move over, and we had requirements to, for instance, protect PII under the basic Privacy Shield, which is a California law that's like GDPR. And what you can see is that I actually cannot run this workflow here, and the reason why is because we haven't provided the right human interventions and the right tests. But once we do, and we, in this case here, I'll show you a human in the loop, the processor then becomes unblocked.
Oh, and don't forget about SpaceX. SpaceX is sending satellites up into orbit with Hedera Hashgraph tech. Well, that's what I have for you folks. Until next time, stay savvy, stay stacking, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. And if you want more crypto deep dives, check out our videos right here on Crypto Meets AI. Thank you for watching. Remember to always do your own research. This is not financial advice.